Today is March 13, 2016. The time's about 3:15 in the afternoon. I'm going to answer some of the viewer questions that have been sent to me. Bear in mind that these are my opinions and information that I know today based on having lived in Chiang Mai, Thailand for the past year and a half. First question, how much are scooters and motorbikes new over there? Last year my younger stepdaughter needed a reliable motorbike to drive to school every day. She's 16, going on 17, and we got her a Honda Scoopy I for 50,000 baht. I think the PCX model, which is a little better model Honda, was 80 to 90,000 baht. As with cars, you don't pay list price. You negotiate with them, and they may also include some promotions. I think in the case of my stepdaughter's motorbike, she got the first year of insurance included, and they lowered the price from the list. So we ended up paying 50,000 baht out the door. Next question. I lived in Thailand for a while. My biggest issue was with language, especially in Isan, where a lot of people did not speak English. How are you coping with that? I know Chiang Mai has more English, but do you feel isolated at times, even from your wife's family? That's true. You go out into the smaller towns, they speak less English, perhaps. In my case, I've been fortunate. When I first got here, I made friends with a person called Mick, who had been coming to Thailand and or living in Thailand for 13 years, and he speaks enough Thai to get by. So palling around with him, he did any of the Thai speaking that we're required, when we're arranging for tickets, arranging for tuk-tuk rides, that kind of stuff. And then when I met my wife and started being with her, I let her do all of that. So I haven't really had to rely on learning to speak Thai. I know about maybe 10 words in a year and a half of Thai, and maybe 5 of those I'm comfortable with using. So I would say it hasn't been a hindrance for me. Here in Chiang Mai, the tuk-tuk drivers are usually pretty good with English, and they pretty much know where you want to go. The Santao drivers, the red pickup trucks, is a little more iffy. In a lot of cases, in some cases, not a lot of cases, but in some cases, they don't really understand where you're asking them to go. I see other people using their smartphone and showing the driver on the smartphone map where they want to go. That maybe sometimes works, sometimes doesn't work, I don't know. But anyway, some people you'll have trouble with. As with anything in the world, you can basically point at whatever you want to buy, and they'll tell you how much money, and so you can get by without really speaking the language. My wife uses, and some of her other friends that she knows, my wife has a Samsung Galaxy S5 smartphone, and one of the applications on there is a translator, so she can speak into it in Thai, and it will translate it to English and both display it on the screen and say it verbally. And the reverse is true too. I can speak to it in English, and it will translate it into Thai and display the Thai and say it verbally. So it's limited to short sentences, and the English sentence structure isn't always that good, but it's enough to work. So you can also communicate that way with some type of an electronic translator. So I think it's fairly easy to get around here in Chiang Mai, not really knowing Thai, but it certainly helps to be with someone, either to know Thai yourself or to be with someone that speaks the language. Next question, what kind of visa do you have, and do you have to leave the country every month? And being married to a Thai lady, does it make it easier to stay there? I'm on a one-year visa based on retirement. They also have a one-year visa for foreigners based on being married to a Thai. The financial requirements are half when you're married, going for a marriage visa in relation to a retirement visa. The retirement visa, I believe you have to be 50 years of age. You have to have you have to meet the financial requirement. And in the case of a retirement visa, it can either be 800,000 baht in a bank, or it can be 65,000 baht per month income, or a combo of the two. And like I say, the marriage visa is half that for financial requirements. The marriage visa is a really big pain as far as paperwork goes, and it's additive. You have to show them paperwork from the previous years in addition to the current year that you're renewing for. So I think the easiest is to get a one-year visa based on retirement. You can also get an education visa, I believe. You can take Muay, you can learn to speak Thai, and other things that they allow as far as education here would, but I'm not really familiar with those types of visas, so I won't speak to those. I'm on a one-year visa, so every year on my anniversary of entering the country, I have to renew, and I do it based on retirement. And so far, I have not kept any money in Thailand. I don't have a Thai bank account, at least wise not yet. I may in the future, but I don't have a Thai bank account in my own name. My wife and my older stepdaughter have bank accounts. Actually, all the kids have bank accounts. Let's see, what did it say? What kind of visa do you have? Do I have to leave the country? No, as far as I know, I don't have to leave the country. I don't have a lot of knowledge about other countries. In the case of the U.S., I don't think I have to go back if I don't choose to. Sometime in the future, maybe in a year or two, I'd like to go back and visit, take my wife along, show her, spend 3 weeks or so traveling around at least California where I used to live. But I pretty much, when I made the decision to come here, I came to stay. I figured if it wasn't, it just got too expensive in San Francisco South Bay to live on Social Security pension and a little bit of investment income. And basically everyone I knew that was close to me, relative-wise, had passed on. I never married, I have no children, so what do I do next? I did consider going to Mexico. Lake Chapala near Guadalajara in Mexico has a big expat community, big retirement community, has the second best weather in the world. But I chose not to go there. It was a little more expensive than here, and I ended up choosing Chiang Mai. I ended up choosing Thailand and then Chiang Mai. The way I found this once I decided on Thailand was by watching YouTube videos, kind of like you folks are doing, watching my videos, which I appreciate. So the visa I have is a one-year visa. It's based on retirement. Last year, June, I came here in July of 2014, so June of last year, late June 2015 was my first time of renewing it, the visa, and I went to, because I didn't have any money in my name in a Thai bank here, I went the route of proving that I have the income per month to meet the requirement. And what I did was I went to the U.S. Embassy and got a notarized letter from the U.S. Embassy, cost $50 U.S., and the Thai immigration accepts that. A notarized letter from your embassy that states your income, as long as it's greater than the 65K baht per month that they require, which mine is. Next question. Are you ever homesick for the USA? What do you miss the most? Plan on ever visiting again? California. Yes, I just spoke about that. I plan on taking a trip. Am I homesick? Not really. I was born in Southern California and graduated from Arcadia High School near Pasadena. Spent 4 years in the Navy, and after the Navy I went to a computer trade school, and my first job was in Silicon Valley in Sunnyvale, well, San Francisco South Bay. I lived in Sunnyvale and Santa Clara. So I have very fond memories of my childhood and my working career in computers. Do I miss it? Not really. And this is my home now. I figured when I came here, new adventure, I basically gave everything away. So you sell what you can, but I basically just gave everything away. I ended up with a lot of the things from the other relatives that really didn't have much meaning for me, so I passed them on to other cousins where I could, and or just gave them to the Goodwill. I came here with one soft-sided suitcase and a backpack, and that's kind of what you have to do. You can come here, some people, this is a big move. You move halfway around the world, completely change your life, but I sort of needed that, and I was looking forward to that as a new adventure. And I figured if it didn't work out here in Chiang Mai, like it looked like it was working for others in the videos that I saw and the stories that I read, I figured I could go somewhere else. And as it turns out, I don't really need to go anywhere else. I think living in Chiang Mai is a good choice. It's a pretty big city, and the old city, the downtown part of Chiang Mai, reminds me a lot of downtown San Francisco, with the small streets and the different sections and different vibes of the different sections of the old city. So, no, I don't care really to go back to the U.S. This is my life. I think it's a good choice for someone like me. I was 66, I think, when I made the choice to come here. A friend of mine had died suddenly and kind of woke me up. What am I doing at 66? When am I ever going to do this world travel? And I just decided then that it was time to make a big change. And this was the change that I made. It's a pretty good choice, I think, for a single guy. And there's women here as well that come. Either to live or to vacation part of the year. They spend part of the year here and they spend the rest of the year somewhere else. And or if they're still working, they come here for a few months of vacation and then they go home to work and be able to afford the next vacation. Live in the north, it's cheap, prices are cheaper, everything's cheaper in the north. And take trips down south. Last year we took 3 different trips with the family. Bangkok on one, Phuket and Phi Phi Island on, the first one was Bangkok And then we went down to Koh Cement, Banffy, and then Koh Cement, which was an island beach, very pretty. Spent a couple days there. That was in May, I think. The second trip, April, when my younger stepdaughter was on school vacation. The second trip was to Phuket and Phi Phi Island in May, and the third trip was in June to Krabi and Phi Phi Island. So I've been to Mae Hong Son and Pai in the north on a driving trip with another couple, and in the future, right now as a family we're buying a town home. We bought a town home and we're fixing it up, getting ready to move in, and we're going to get a car for my wife, and that'll make us more mobile yet. The older two kids both drive cars. So, live in the north. If you don't like Chiang Mai, like right now it's getting smoky, and it will be smoky for another month and a half from burning the fields in the north. And it isn't just Chiang Mai, it's all over the north where it gets smoky. And but live in a cheaper area and then take trips within Thailand and or around the region. So that's what I'm doing. Next question. What sort of monthly income do you need realistically to have a good to high standard of living in Thailand, Chiang Mai, or generally speaking in Thailand? Well, like I say, down south, Bangkok, and certainly the beach cities are more expensive. Everything, housing, and there's two seasons here. There's low season and high season. High season is in the fall, or U.S. fall, say September, October, probably October through February is high season. And it covers Christmas time and New Year's. And the hotel rates will increase, maybe double, sometimes more than double during high season, because more people come and the weather's a little nicer, cooler. In low season, the prices are cheaper. There is maybe fewer people, although at the beach areas it can get pretty crowded no matter what time of year, but it's certainly more expensive than the similar kind of living in the north. So what kind of income do you need? Well, it depends on what your lifestyle is. I've read things about where people used to say you could live for $500 a month US. I don't think you can do that. And if you are able to do that, you have been here for a while and you're eating like a Thai and you're living in a not a very good place like a Thai would have to, that doesn't make much income. You could probably get by okay at around $750 US a month. Again, you're not going to come here fresh off the boat and know where to eat cheaply, know where to stay cheaply, and basically you're not going to be doing anything because all your money is going to be spent on living and eating. So if you want to live nice, like we've been in Smith Residence, a hotel, has a downstairs restaurant, a downstairs laundry, pretty good sized room here, air conditioned. They clean it once, they just cleaned it this morning, they clean it once a week, change the sheets, give you new towels, so forth and so on. So this room we pay 3 months at a time, or we're committed for 3 months originally. We've been here a year, a little over a year. Is 8,000 baht a month. They give you 500 baht a month off because you've committed to 3 months. You have to give, in our case where we committed for 3 months, we had to give them 1 month's deposit and pay 2 months rent. And what that means is that at the end, you don't pay the last month's rent and you get back your deposit less whatever damage or things that they say that you owe on your deposit. The utilities run, I think, 800 for electricity, 800 baht to about 1600 baht. No, more than that. 800 baht to 2300 baht. I'm sorry. So 2300 baht when you're running the air conditioner all the time, and this is sort of an inefficient air conditioner that we have in this room, and we're on the sun side. Right now I have the shades open and the sun is shining in. So 800 baht to 2300 baht, winter to summer for electricity. The water is usually fairly consistent at around 230 baht, 240 baht a month. There are apartments that are more expensive, hotel rooms and apartments that are more expensive to as much as you want to pay. If you get into a really nice 5-star hotel, it can be as expensive as it is in the West. There are also pretty cheap ones. I've seen, I think the lowest was a friend of mine that was staying in a room that wasn't much bigger than his bed for 3,000 baht a month, plus utilities. And in his case, he never ran his air conditioner, only used the fan. I would require air conditioner. Right now I have the air conditioner on low and I have a floor fan that's running on low. And that keeps us fairly comfortable. So I would say if you're just going to live an average life, like in a place like we're in, you probably want around $1,200 to $1,500 US to live on. If you're going to go out to the bars and drink, it's going to be more expensive. If you get involved with women, it's going to be more expensive. In my case, I'm married, and my wife has 3 kids, so I have 3 stepkids. The older 2 work. 29-year-old daughter works in the bank. She went through college here and has a marketing degree, I believe. And my stepson, my older daughter is 29, my stepson is 24, they're going to be 25 in a couple of weeks. He does building repair and remodel. And my younger stepdaughter, like I said before, was 16 going on 17. She's still going to school and probably has 5 more years of school to go. She's just kind of finishing up her secondary school, which costs 5,000 baht a month. And she likes playing saxophone in the school band and is pretty good with computers and internet type stuff. So she's got maybe another year in the secondary school, and then she will start going to one of the universities here. And all I really know is that currently the school that she's going to costs 5,000 baht a month. They live separately, the 3 kids. Their 2-bedroom apartment is another 5,000 baht a month. 1 bathroom, 2 bedrooms, and a living room, and then a Thai type kitchen in the back. They both have car payments. The 2 older kids have car payments on their cars. So it can add up. If you get involved with a lady that has children or has relatives that you might be expected to support, it could get more expensive. Just yourself, if you don't go out and drink much, I would have $1,200 US a month to live here comfortably. But it can vary. It depends on your lifestyle. Okay, moving on. Did you know Noon, that's my wife, before you decided to go there to live? No, I did not. I had sent messages to using one of the, it wasn't Plenty of Fish, but it was one of the other big ones like Plenty of Fish dating site, free dating site on the internet. And I had sent messages to some Thai ladies in Chiang Mai once I knew I was coming here. And only one lady, I only kept communications with one lady. She, at the time, this was a couple of years ago, she was 61 years old and seemed to speak pretty, or wrote pretty good English. So we had a blind date when I got here, a couple of days after I got here. And then we went out a couple of more times. But I had met Noong in the interim, and I broke it off with the other lady because there was no chemistry. And I knew that there would never be chemistry, and rather than try to form an attachment was starting to form. So I broke it off with her because I knew I was going to start dating Noong, and I didn't think it was fair to the other lady to leave her hanging. So yes, I did know someone before I came here, but that didn't work.